race fans, this is the one you've been waiting for. The highly anticipated debut of Funny Car Chaos is coming to Lebanon Valley Dragway. It's run what you brung, ground-pounding funny car action like you've never seen before. Daily adult admission $30 and kids 10 and under get in free. Free camping for spectators with pit pass.
Visit dragway.com and funnycarchaos.com for more info.
Make your plans to join us for Funny Car Chaos at Lebanon Valley Dragway, September 19th and 20th. You just gotta be there.
Well, David Rattan, the voice of Chaos, we're live, and we've got plenty to talk about after a spectacular visit, once again, to Mo-Kan Dragway for Funny Car Chaos.
Man, that is so true. There is, I saw one of the videos that you posted out there where you were coming from the top end towards the starting line with all the fans over there on the spectator side of the racetrack. Man, it was a full house. And, of course, we've talked about it many, many times, how great the fans at Mo-Kan are. But, boy, they filled the place both days, and the action was absolutely outstanding. And for once, and we're certainly very thankful for this, Mother Nature cooperated with us. We were able to get things done under partly cloudy skies. We had that 100% chance of thunder, and the racers delivered. And, boy, it was really an outstanding weekend.
Outstanding weekend. And yes, so thankful to have a race weekend that was not mired by weather one way or the other. It was great racing weather both days. And the Mo-Kan fan base, it cannot be said enough. I know probably people are tired of us saying it, but it is just a special fan base in the world of drag racing. Both days had great crowds. Saturday was absolutely slammed. And in that video you were referencing, certainly and deservedly so, Indianapolis on Labor Day weekend gets the attention. But nonetheless, there are big races taking place for regions and their own Indy. And you look at Mo-Kan, you look at Funny Car Chaos, and it serves that for that four-state area and that fan base right around there near Joplin, Missouri, which apparently has nothing else to do, but they love their drag racing, obviously.
Well, there's a lot of things to do up there, but for the motorsports fans, Mo-Kan continues to deliver, and we keep saying it how special it is there. You know, the number of Dirty South gassers that were there, in addition to all the funny cars, there was, 3 dozen of them. And, we're going to I've got to talk about them a little bit later coming on, but boy, did they ever deliver. But yeah, we've reached the point in the 2025 season that there's only one race left in Funny Car Chaos and only one race left in the Nitro Chaos Championship Tour. The battle for the championships and the final placements inside the top 10 or elsewhere. It's all going to be settled at those two final events coming up. That's what's on everybody's mind, and we're going to be talking with a winner from the Byron race and a winner from the Mo-Kan race here tonight. But boy, what a great weekend it was! So happy to have everybody joining for this spectacular event, and the live stream that continues to be a real plus. As I hear from people and people send messages and all, and I'm sure you get a lot more of them than I do, about people who are so happy that they can tune in and experience the chaos racing on the live stream when they can't make it to the event. And so that, I don't know how you feel like that's going, but I think it's going really, really well. And you're doing such a great job, you and James, on bringing that product out there to the Chaos Nation.
Well, I appreciate that, and I think it is going very stressful. If behind the scenes, people don't realize with streaming, and I watched Warren Evans, and all of this is really thanks to Warren Evans. He was, doing the Funny Car Chaos streams for the past several years, and like Back to the Flow deal and things of that nature. And then we finally decided to step up, get our own kit, and then I decided to buy my own personal kit. So I'm streaming Sega and I'm streaming Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos. So Yes, for years I watched what Warren was doing and said, I don't want to do that. And now here I am. And it is rewarding, but yet also it can be highly stressful because people don't realize, I think racers will understand this. When you go to a racetrack, you've got a notebook for that racetrack, or you're building a notebook if you're going there for the first time. Streaming is no different. Mo-Kan Dragway, they have phenomenal internet, and they make streaming easy. Go somewhere at places that we have been to in the past or that we will visit in the future. I think of Lufkin, Texas, Pine Valley. Internet is unheard of there. I'm not sure they've ever been touched by it. And you've got to figure out how to overcome that very critical piece. And then pieces of technology love to do this or that or not do what they're supposed to do and intended to do. So it is a continual moving target with streaming. So I hope folks are enjoying it. And it was good to, at Mo-Kan, took some lessons from Byron that was like, oh, well, I solved one problem and yet created another one, and Mo-Kan didn't have that problem, was able to work it out. And I think between James and also Michael Neal helped out. He took my cell phone, got some pit cam footage, and then on the ones and twos, and occasionally even, Chris, like, hey, can you hit the buttons? I got to run down and get a camera. That's how you got that video of me with the stands. I had to run and go handle a streaming problem, and I'm like, oh, I'm just walking back. Let me do something while I'm walking back. So, yes, I hope everyone is enjoying it. And, hey, if you're out there and you like what you see, step up and support the streaming efforts of Funny Car Chaos. And be sure, when you are watching the stream, hit the like button, share it to your personal profiles, and dive into the comment section. And, by the way, that's what you should be doing right here on Chaos Live.
That's right. Join in on the live stream, on this broadcast of Chaos Live, and we love hearing from you. And share it with your friends. The more interaction that we get from you guys, the bigger the message can go out. And there's some great things that we're going to talk about. We're not going to preview the championship finals a whole lot because there's 2 races to talk about that we've already put in the books, and or I should say mostly put in the books, because we still have 2 final rounds coming up from Byron that will be settled up at Great Lakes Dragway. But we'll bring you results from the Funny Car Chaos races at Summer Thunder at Byron Dragway, and from the 60th Annual Ozark Crane Services Labor Day Weekend Classic presented by Fleet Fuels LLC at Mo-Kan Dragway. And so let's just get right into it. And we've got a couple of great interviews coming up for you here tonight. But it was the first time for Funny Car Chaos to be at Byron Dragway ever. And we had heard great things about Byron Dragway, but not a lot of us had ever been there. And I got to say, it's a showplace of a racetrack. The comments and the compliments were just effusive, as there's just so much to love about that place. So a big shout out to the ownership, the management, the staff, and the racers there at Byron Dragway. You guys and gals have got a really special place, and we look forward to helping bring more racers and race fans to your track. Now, Mother Nature, once again, did not let us finish the finals. We got everything in except the finals up at Byron Dragway at the Summer Thunder event. And it wound up with, we wound up being down to 3 final rounds, and we will run those 2 of those 3 finals at Great Lakes Dragway. It's going to be Brian Lewis against Lance Van Houen in the Rodak A field, Bob Alberti Jr. and Ray Drew in the Alki Digger B field. And then at Mo-Kan, we were able to get the C Field final in with Justin Herbst and Neil Giroux in the Wulff Pumps C Field final. And Hot Rod Herbie got that win at Mo-Kan, and we'll talk about that more in detail coming up later on, because we're going to get a chance to hear from Hot Rod Herbie here tonight. But carrying on the theme from Mo-Kan, Mo-Kan Dragway hosted the Labor Day Weekend Classic for the 60th year, which is outstanding that somebody has been doing that long. And but it's been so great. We talked about it at length, that it was the 8th Funny Car Chaos race in a row at Mo-Kan Dragway. It's the racetrack that has had the most Funny Car Chaos events and the most chaos races in of all the franchise, because Nitro Chaos has been there 4 times. So that was the 12th time that we have been to Mo-Kan Dragway, and it just continues to be a place. It's kind of like homecoming. And when we go back to Mo-Kan Dragway, it's a place that we really love to be and really love to see our friends there, and we continue to make more and more friends. The Rodak A Field was won by Keith Zimmer and the Will Hanna-tuned Penny Pincher Mustang, when the 200 proof Monte Carlo of the Williams brothers left a shade quick and red lighted away a sure victory. In the Alki Digger B Field final, it was Jade Cook in the Phil Cook-tuned Nemesis Mustang who put on a clinic of consistency and trailered Justin Malotte's Must Be Nice Hemi Bel Air in the final. And in the Wulff Pumps C Field final, Cody Chatfield became the 73rd winner of a Funny Car Chaos Signature Event Trophy. And Cody's opponent, Chance Biffle, in the Bad Intentions Corvette, experienced damage to their engine in the semifinal win. So Cody streaked to the win in the John McDonald-tuned Booze Brothers Vega. So we're going to talk with Cody coming up here in just a little bit. But right before we go to the break, we mentioned the Dirty South Gassers. Chantel, the Gasser girl, and she was there, and she's the ramrod for this great bunch of racers that bring their gassers out to Mo-Kan for that event. 3 dozen. That's a lot of gassers, any way you slice it. But they are some of the country's best gassers, and boy, did they ever put on a show. And you may have seen, if you haven't already found their page on Facebook, that's one of the main ways they communicate. But Dirty South Gassers, they posted, and so a shout out to all those racers that made their way there. And by the way, get well soon, David Tanner. We missed you in the Outhouse Mouse. But congratulations to these racers who came away with some of the trophies and the awards from Dirty South Gassers at Mo-Kan over the weekend. Jim Anderson in the Red Rocket, Leland Harmon, Fun's Fun, Jim Coon's Warpath Anglia, Jason Calloway's Tinkerman, John Waltz in the Instigator. A bunch of Tri-5 cars were there this weekend. And Tony Incardona, the raunchy Ranchero, Eric Podolf in the Sigley-Uster, Johnny Reb Armstrong, Brad Pausch in the Roscoe P. Coltrane Chevy 2, and that big bad 56, the Bud DeWolf in the Quick 56. So thanks to all of our Dirty South Gasser friends for being there. It's always an important time and a fun time to see you guys and gals out there racing and having a good time. And so thank you for that. And, big shout out to you guys for putting on such a phenomenal show. So we're going to go to our first break. And when we come back, we're going to get a chance to talk with another first-time winner in Funny Car Chaos competition, winner number 73, the driver of the Booze Brothers Vega. We're going to chat with Cody Chatfield right after this word from our sponsors.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads, and driveways to seal coat, chip seal, concrete, and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.
We are back, and we have got our 73rd winner in the history of Funny Car Chaos, a young man who knows it's all about family. We talk a lot about family in the world of Chaos Nation. And being from the Kansas City area, Raymore, Missouri, you guys had a lot of family and friends there to see you go all the way to the winner's circle. Welcome to the show, Cody Chatfield.
Thank you.
Man, it was a great weekend. We finally got a chance to go without seeing any rain until after the funny car part of it was over. We didn't experience a few sprinkles right there at the end of the race when I was talking to you guys out in the pit area, but other than that, there was none, and so it was terrific. But you've been racing with us. I think this is the second year now that you guys have been racing with us, and boy, it's been a great ride, and you guys have made your way to the winner's circle in a fairly big hurry.
Yeah, so last year at Mo-Kan, we took the funny car body out for its first time, and tried to do see if we can compete in funny car chaos there at Mo-Kan, and it just didn't go our way. We had drive shaft issues, and learned a lot about the car that weekend. And then fast forward to this year, we decided we were really going to try to follow the series, and we had a pretty successful outing in Enos, and made the semifinal there before having some transmission problems. And then like you said, it's been a crazy year for racing with the weather, and everywhere we go, every time we get the car out, it rains. So it was good to get at Mo-Kan and not have any rain till after the race, and it was a lot of fun.
So in talking with you guys and talking with John, this car began its life as an altered, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so it has been run as the Booz Brothers altered for how long have you guys had that car and been running it? Give us kind of the history of the Booz Brothers. And I got it from John the other night, and but I know that I can't tell the story as well as you can. So tell us about it.
So the Booz Brothers goes all the way back to 1979 when John and Craig, they bought their first car. They bought a Nova, and they worked on it and they went drag race. And then through the years, they worked their way up to front engine cars, rear engine cars, everything in between. So in 1999, they bought the altered chassis. It didn't come out until 2003. So they ran the Central States Superchargers. They did some OFAA stuff. And then I came along in 2011, and I started working on the car, just doing anything I could, tire pressure, spark plugs, whatever I could to get my hands on the car. And that all came about because Larry, the crew chief on the car, started dating my mom. So we got to give a big thanks to him, or else I would have never even thought about drag racing. So that's where I got my start. Did that till COVID, and that's basically when it really started. So late part of 2019, John decided that he was going to put me in a hot fire suit when it was about 120 degrees outside, see if I could stand the heat. So I went through. I'd never been down the drag strip until it was in that car. So I made an idle pass all the way down just to see if I could do it, stage the car and all that, and then over the years we slowly start working our way up. So and then 2000, I want to say 2021 or 22. Craig decided that I could take his year driving. They used to switch on and off years, taking turns driving from year to year. So Craig decided that I could take his turn driving to get me some seat time. So I like to think I did pretty good. And, so ever since I got in the seat, I've stayed in the seat. Then 2023, I want to say, Craig decided to sell his half of the race car. So I bought his half out, and now me and John are partners on it. And that's when we decided to put the funny car on it and start chasing the series.
Wow, that's a lot of history, and it's really fun to go over there and see you guys working together. It's obvious there's a lot of affection there. It's obvious that there's a lot of competitive nature there. You guys come out. I'm sure you have a lot of fun, but you don't come out to finish on the DNQ list. And so for you guys to get that funny car into the winner's circle, I know there was a lot of happiness out there. I mean, I could just feel it when I was over there with you guys. So, congratulations to Larry and John. And I saw it. I know your mom was extremely proud of what you guys were able to accomplish. It's really, really fun. So you guys are racing Funny Car Chaos now, and we are so excited about that. But you've experienced some racing up at Eddyville. I think with the car in altered trim, you guys may be pretty regular at the World Fuel Altered Nationals, and including having a good outing this year.
Yeah, so I think our car's made almost every year except for one. I think it's been there, but it's one of those races that we try to always make. And this year it was going to fall perfect because we could hit it and Byron, and then with the rain out and then rescheduled, it happened that it was the same weekend. So we decided that we were going to go up to Eddyville and run an altered trim and hang out with our old altered buddies. And so we had a pretty good outing out there. I qualified number 5 in the A field, and that's always a bad spot because you go up against the fastest car on the property. And so that was John Umloff, and he's a good buddy of ours. And I think last year I went up against him first round too. And man, I just try to go out there and hit the tree and make him drive around me. And last year he did it, and he came flying around me. And this year I was expecting him to fly around me, but he came around me at the finish line, and he was moving. And I got down there and I asked him, I said, "You come around me in time?" He goes, "I don't know." And so, neither one of us knew until the crew guys came down with the slips that who won that race. So that was a really close and really good race.
Wow, I bet that's quite the feeling when you're out there, and of course that mass chaos nitro hit me with all those cubic inches and the header flames, and I'm sure that it's quite the experience to be in the lane next to it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a crazy thing. He thumps the ground and it's really loud. You can't hear your car and what it's doing when he comes by you. And like I said, so he dropped 2 holes at the hit, and he still come around me at 190 mile an hour. So, I mean, that's moving out of nowhere, when you can't see anybody, and then all of a sudden you just see his car just fly by you.
Wow, that's exciting to imagine that. Man, you guys, you've made a lot of laps. You've raced against alcohol cars and nitro cars, and you've run in the altered. You've run in the funny car, and in the funny car. Do you like that better? Is it the same? Is it different? What is it? What do you feel like when you're in that funny car?
It's different. I do like the fuel altered body. It's it's pretty easy to work around. You don't have your big body that you have to lift up and lower, and but I just love that we have such a amazing series to follow and a place to race. So to me, it doesn't make much difference, but to my crew, it's a little bit easier working with the fuel altered body. But we're just happy to be here.
Well, that's good, and happy anniversary. We're seeing these pictures of you and the car and Alyssa, and you guys celebrated your anniversary over the weekend, did you not?
Yes, we did. We did it at Mo-Kan, and so it was really cool that we were able to pull off a win at Mo-Kan on our anniversary weekend. And we had a bunch of people come to the races that had never been to the races before, but they decided they were going to try to come to Mo-Kan for us because that's our home track. We got Flying H now, but ever since KCIR shut down, Mo-Kan's been our home track. So, that's the closest one for our family to get to, and it was just awesome having everybody show up and be there for the moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize until the race was over and I was over there. I mean, your pit was just crawling with people. There were, I don't know, a couple dozen people anyway, and maybe more than that, and I might have missed some too. But boy, there was a lot of kids and grown-ups and people my age, and the kids were revved up, and I know that everybody was really excited. So what do you do? I know that you love to race, but you probably also have an occupation that allows you to be able to afford to do this funny car racing. Tell us about your occupation, your career.
So I am an elevator mechanic. I worked for Otis Elevator, and I got into the elevator trade because Larry was an elevator mechanic, and it's a really good trade, and I love it.
Wow, that is really pretty neat. Larry has definitely had some very favorable influences on your life, hasn't he?
Oh, a very big impact on my life. I wouldn't be the man I am today without him, and a lot of aspects of my life. So,
Man, that is great. When it's the off season, I know that during the racing season, chances are pretty good that you're going to be working on the car or at a race. But do you have other activities, other hobbies and interests that you and your family like to engage in?
oh well, my wife and I have Chiefs season tickets, so we try to catch as many games as possible. Um, we really just work on cars, and we have 4 kids, so they keep us pretty busy, and just everyday stuff.
Season tickets, I'm guessing that's not to the Dallas Cowboys games.
No, that's the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I thought you might be a regular at Arrowhead Stadium, since you I guess it's not called that anymore. But yeah, the Chiefs, man, talk about a team that's been on a run of success. There's and of course, some of us down here in Texas, we look to Patrick Mahomes and we think that's one of our guys. So
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's really hard to argue with the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are amongst the better teams that there's ever been with this run that they've been on. Andy Reid being quite the coach.
Oh yeah. We're getting a lot of hate right now, but that's okay.
Well, it happens. It happens when you're a consistent winner.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you get to where you win every Funny Car Chaos race, 7 of them in a row, you'll get some of that too.
Yeah, hopefully I get to experience that.
That's one of the things. So in your racing operation, and with the family environment in Funny Car Chaos and in the other racing that you do, is there a theme? Is there a message that you try to impart to the people that come and follow you? I'm sure you're getting a big group of fans now, especially bringing out the Funny Car along with the Altered, and so you're getting more exposure. And I know that you guys get the chance to send a message to people, and what is that?
We're just your everyday, ordinary people, blue collar workers. We make choices so we can race on weekends, and just come up and hang out, and we love everybody, and just want to have a good time.
Well, that's a good message, and you guys are definitely winners, and now you have the trophy that backs it up. Not that you needed a trophy to back it up, but you definitely have one now to drive the point home. Tell me about the Lucky Boots.
So, in Eddyville, we started our boots started getting worn out. So the soles were getting taped, and they needed to be glued, and the Velcro didn't stick as good as it once did, and so I talked to my buddy Billy Seals, and I noticed he had a pair of Stroud boots on that looked fairly new, and I asked him how did he like them, and he likes them pretty good, and so I asked him how do the sizes fit, because they only have certain sizes, and do they run big, do they run small before you go buy a $400 pair of boots. And he goes, well, you can just try mine on if you want. And so I tried them on, and I said, I think those work. And he goes, well, you can just borrow them for the rest of the season. And so I was like, okay. So I put them on. This was the first race that I wore them, driving the car. And so now I called them my lucky boots, and I told him I had to buy him a pair because I'm keeping these ones.
Well, all right, that's a good story, and as long as they're working, that is great. Lee just put a note in here that not only something that you've got in common with Fast Jack Beckman is that you guys both work on elevators.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Wow, That's cool. That's cool to have something else in common with one of those guys on the Big Show tour. So what's next for the Booz Brothers Funny Car team?
So we were thinking that Mo-Kan was going to be our last race, but I was talking with the guys, and they said if we went out and won Mo-Kan, then we'd go up to Wisconsin and run it at Great Lakes. So we got one of them done. So we're going to go up and we're going to see if we can't squeeze in the top 10 here in a couple weeks up at the finals at Great Lakes.
Man, that is big news out there. We're glad to hear that you're going to be up at Great Lakes. Have you been there before?
I have not.
Me either. So that's one of those places that I have heard about ever since I was a little kid. And of course, that's one of the tracks where the match race people, and of course, my original funny car idol was Kelly Chadwick. And actually in 1973, that's where Kelly's funny car made its last pass, as it crashed up there, and that was the end of funny car racing for my man Kelly Chadwick. But anyway, I've heard of that track forever. You can see, YouTube is filled with races and reports and videos from Great Lakes Dragway. So to get a chance to be there, and not only that, to know that you guys are going to be up there, wouldn't that be something to go up there and have another outstanding weekend like you just had and be able to crack into that top 10? I think it's certainly a possibility, as you guys are not very far from that.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So we started out the year and we just wanted to see what we could do. And, I wasn't sure that we can get there, but after the win at Mo-Kan, it seems very doable. So we're going to give her a shot.
Well, you guys have put consistent performances, and when a new team comes to the racetrack, you take a look at their equipment, you see things, you can read, you can do a little research, but you never really know exactly how things are going to go. But you guys came out and fired some good shots early, and you have backed it up race after race with consistent performances. So, man, great job to you and your team. So, you have sponsors, people that you want to recognize, or people that we haven't recognized already?
Yeah, so we got Jack, our machinist for Performance Machine Specialties. I'd like to thank Rusty Woolard for welding. Richard Larimer does welding for us. I know there's a handful of other people that I'm forgetting, but we do a lot of work ourselves and dish out what we can when we need to. So, but I want to thank my mom for watching the kids and making sure we're all fed while we're working hard on race weekends, and Larry and John for busting their butts on the car always, and giving me a consistent race car like you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, that is phenomenal. Thank you for taking the time to be on. And of course, we're celebrating with you as you add your name to that distinguished roster of Funny Car Chaos winners. And we look forward to seeing you and your team up at Great Lakes, hopefully for a spectacular finish. So appreciate you being on tonight and sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Cody Chatfield as he got a win in the Wulff Pumps C Field down at that incredible event at Mo-Kan Dragway this past weekend. Great to hear the story of how the Booz Brothers Vega and all those teammates have put one in the winner's circle, and they're looking for more. So we have got Hot Rod Herbie coming up after a win from Byron. And we're going to get a chance to talk with one of the most prolific winners in the history of Funny Car Chaos. Justin Herbst is coming up right after these words from our sponsors.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Man, it has been a great season, and one of the guys that has had a great season, and seems like he always does have a great season, putting that car in the final round in the winner's circle, and just about as often as anybody to have ever done it. Justin Herbst from North Platte, Nebraska. Welcome to Funny Car Chaos Live.
Thanks for having us.
Man, it's a pleasure, and it's good to see you. Boy, you have a lot of people don't necessarily know if they don't keep up with the stats like I do, but dude, you've been to 7 final rounds, and you've won 6 of them. That one that you didn't win wasn't exactly fair, I don't think, but you have always consistently put your car through the rounds, and this year you find yourself going into the championship finals with an extremely good chance of coming away as the champion. Tell us about your year and how it's been going.
So the year kind of started out not quite sure how we were lucky enough. Texas is always a pretty tough track, and we didn't figure we'd even really qualify there. And all of a sudden, we're in the final against the nitro car that, definitely should never been in that field, but is what it is. We were definitely the underdog there, and I tried what we could do. Then went to Eddyville, and Eddyville, last time we were there 2 years ago, was really good to us, and we ran similar to the same numbers, but we were fighting a lot of issues. And Wayne Hoffman come over, tried to help. Danny Mann tried to help, and we changed converters, changed fuel system. Luckily, we won that one. And then Cordova came up, same deal. I had a new kid that weekend with me, Luke, and he about midnight decided that if I want to work on it, let's work on it. So changed blowers, changed everything except for the injector, and come to find out that was where the problem lied, was in the injector. And on the ride home, talking to David Rattan, he told me to check some stuff, and that's when I found out what was wrong with the injector. But something that got overlooked, and is what it is.
Yeah, well, you have been extremely good in the Funny Car Chaos races ever since the first time you came to one, and at recognizing how important the show is. And buddy, you're a showman. I have to tell you, there's a handful of guys, and it's that bring the burnouts to the next level, a little bit like the old days when the guys in the 60s and 70s, and it kind of played out in the 80s with those long smoky burnouts. But boy, is it fun to see you come up and do the long smoky burnouts, and I think that the crowd probably has learned to sit up and take notice, because whenever they hear me say Hot Rod Herbie is coming up, they know there's going to be something good happening on the racetrack with the smoke show and the long burnouts, longer than sometimes you actually even go past the half track point. So, man, I got to tell you how much I enjoy that. I know the race fans do as well.
So on our final round at Eddyville, I told Dan Mann that I was going to cut the burnout back, and he actually said no, he wanted to do a Hoffman-Herbst burnout side by side. So that's why we let those ones go as far as we did. And then Bob Alberti, going through the pits, he comes over and told me how awesome that was and how proud he was. So that's cool that A-Field car driver and team comes over and is proud of you. So that was a pretty good highlight.
Yeah. Now, you have got you started racing with the Scorpion team, your Monza funny car. That one's still hanging back in reserve somewhere, isn't it?
It is still sitting in the garage turnkey right now. We did a match race actually with Cody Chatfield come down to Kearney, and Lee Laval come down, Mike Newkirk, David Hill, and we had a pretty good little time there. And Robin Risch was there too, and so yeah, I ran the Mons on that weekend, and that was kind of a test weekend for the motor that Chatfield put in his car. So that was a good time.
Well, going to Kearney, those years that we were there, that's a fun track. That's a fun place to be, and that's the single place where the fans, I think, did more rides with Proud American Motorsports than any other racetrack. I mean, they were standing in line, and I think we about wore those dragsters out. And a lot of times, they get a lot of runs, and they get the opportunity to put a lot of smiles on people's faces. But I have to say that I think Kearney is probably the single location where the fans most enjoyed riding along, and I think they get a big kick out of the success that you're experiencing on the Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour. So we got one race left, and you're going to be there, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
Oh, good. Okay, good deal. So we're coming down to it. We got you. We got the Brian Lewis team out of Oklahoma and the Penny Pincher team out of Texas. Got the Man of War team, the Must Be Nice team, and the 200 Proof team. Top 6 right there. If certain things go a certain way, it could be an interesting battle for that championship. But coming into the season, did you see it going this way, or did it just kind of evolve and wind up being one of those deals that you kind of just had to chase because you're already number one?
Well, when we went through Dallas and got the runner-up, that was just a surprise. And then the Eddyville race, when we won that, at that point, you got to see what the next one brings. And I guess that was Cordova, and that wasn't that good, but we're still up in points. You just can't – you don't know if you stay home, I guess. That was the big thing is we're far enough up that if we stay home, you don't know what will happen.
Yeah, that's right. And you want to go race for it. And, you don't want to by default say, well, I'm just going to throw in the towel. It's going well, and you've been on a roll. Now, the Byron race, didn't get a chance to finish that deal, but you did get a chance to finish it at Mo-Kan this weekend, and you came away with another one of those Alan Meyer Enterprises trophies. So, now you've got 6 of them. And that's got to be pretty fun to have that big, probably to need a bigger trophy case. And so then you had the opportunity to really put some numbers up on the board. But Mo-Kan was good for you in one way and not so good in another.
So at Byron, I was really confident. I laid out I laid out personal best, and I backed it up. And so I was ready to go first off the trailer. And last year down there at Mo-Kan, I seen the games being played on the qualifying. So I didn't want to show the hand off the get. So I got out of it the first pass. Second pass, we detuned it. And then third pass, went to the center stripe. So I tried to play the game, but it ended up playing me instead. And then I got against Chatfield first run, and that could have been a final pair. I mean, that was the closest race, I think, out of all the pairing that I got to watch during elimination rounds, a 425 to a 429. That would have been a really cool final round pair, win or lose. Either way, we brought pork chops and steaks, and we were ready to celebrate, which we won the Byron round, lost the Mo-Kan round, but we still ate like we won anyway, so.
Man, I got to tell you, I used to, anybody that knows me, has known me for any length of time, knows that a pork chop is something that is way up there on my list. And I used to live in Jackson, Mississippi, and there was a place, it was an old Long John Silver's. Indulge me in this story. Okay, there's a point. There's a place, an old Long John Silver's that had been converted to a place called Que Sera. And I used to. They had a chalkboard. They had a menu, but they had a chalkboard. And number 7 on the chalkboard was honey glazed pork loin chop. And to this day, I mean, I've probably had 24 of them because I lived there for a few years. But still the best pork chop I've ever had. But I got to tell you, brother, and for those of you, watching, Herbie came over and said, "Hey, man, you want a pork chop?" And he didn't know that was magic words in my ear. So I went over there and Herbie gave me a pork chop. Man, that was so good. Herbie, I got to tell you, the meat locker where you get those, you may need to approach them about a marketing arrangement, because that was some of the best. That was one of the best pork chops I've ever had. Now, it wasn't the honey glazed, sweet like that one in Jackson that I had all those years, but boy, was that good. And I appreciate you sharing it with me. But man, you guys, you're not lying. You guys did eat well.
We actually, I got a couple of Malot's crew guys, and usually Justin Craig comes over for some ribeye, and he had to leave early, so I had Chris Schneider come over and eat one, and sent Justin Craig a picture of it, saying the butcher was eating his steak that night too.
Everybody's always having a good time. And I tell you, that's one of the things that happens at the CHAOS events, probably other events too, but certainly at the CHAOS events, we definitely eat well, whether it's at the pre-party or whether it's happening during the races, once everybody's done. But thank you for sharing that. All those years in Jackson, whenever I would have people come in from out of state, which I did all the time, I would take them there, and to a person, when they would thank me for recommending that pork chop there. So I got to tell you, I'll always recommend the pork chops that you fixed, brother. That was great. So, all right. So what? As we go into this championship finals event, now you have got a lot of work that you do around your place, and you've been able to bring aboard some folks that help you get to the races and support them, and you're very good to mention them and make sure that they're getting their money's worth. Who's helping you? Who's helping you this year in every aspect?
So as far as crew, Brandon Freeze, he's been with me for the last couple years now. I think last 2 solid years. And that kid comes over after work, works on the car. If I'm busy, he still works. He's made every trip this year except for one, and that was the Cordova one. And I had another buddy that works at another truck shop here in town, Luke. He went with me, and it was kind of our joke that Brandon sabotaged the car to go to that race because he didn't want us to win without him. But come to find out that wasn't the point. But Luke actually might come with us to Wisconsin. It's kind of in the talks, maybe. And got a new guy. He actually rode with us all the way down to Oklahoma, Tulsa, to watch it rain. And Stan, he was with us this last weekend, so he got to celebrate a win with us. Of course, the girlfriend, Sam, and the kids. And had Julie back me up a little bit this year. Had Carly back me up a little bit this year. Got Kirsten from the Ombre team first pass out to back me up. And then Stan kind of took over from there. And it was a whole handful of guys. And then as far as sponsor stuff, we've got Norplac Kubota and my parents at Herbst Sewing. And Mentor Oil, they provided methanol this year for me.
Very good. Well, it's fantastic to have a crew you can count on, and to have some supporters that are helping you get that thing down the racetrack. But I got to say that you have really put up some good things. Now, we've had A field cars win the championship 5 out of 6 times. We've had the B field car win the championship 1 year, and you are in position to actually be the person that the first person who generally runs in the Wulff Pumps C Field to take home the championship. And I got to say, your opportunity to find yourself in that rarefied air of Funny Car Chaos champion certainly looks going strong going into this final event of the season. So does it change anything at all about how you approach things?
I don't think so. I think we need to just do what we can do. And the cool thing about being in the C Field sponsored by Wulff Pumps is Ed Wulff, the very first event we came to with the Monza, we didn't qualify, and neither did Jordan Blue, and we had pretty much the same combo. So he pulled us aside, wanted us to do a match race. And, he's always treated me the best from the day we showed up till now. I mean, they'd be pretty proud to pull off a win and put a C Field Wulff Pumps car into the championship. That'd be pretty sweet.
No doubt about that whatsoever. So we are getting down to it. Now your dad has a towing business, is that right?
Yeah, we run heavy duty tow trucks. Okay.
And so you guys getting any of those offers for the TV contracts for the my wife loves to watch those heavy hauler tow truck shows. What is that? The Discovery Channel? I can't remember which one it is, but that's some pretty interesting stuff. And I'm imagining that's kind of like what you guys may find yourselves doing sometimes in the wintertime, especially on I-80 up there whenever it gets really snowy.
Yeah, we stay busy, but some of that stuff looks like they cause some of their own issues. Then kind of sometimes when we're on the side of the road and a guy says they watch that show and they ask if some of the stuff really happens, some of it's maybe a little more exaggerated than could have been.
Are you saying that reality television is not always real?
But we've all watched Street Outlaws too, right?
Well, listen, it has been great to have you on the show tonight. You are doing extremely well, and the show that you bring is one of those things that keeps people coming back to Funny Car Chaos. So on behalf of the fans, because I'm the announcer, but I'm also a Funny Car fan. Have been since I was a little kid. I want to thank you for the show that you bring, and that's part of what keeps people coming back to Funny Car Chaos.
So the other thing I noticed the other day when I was rewatching it, you caught the barrel racing deal, and figured we couldn't have a Section 8 without a wild horse in the stable over there. So that was kind of a funny deal that Nick, when we had the idea, Nick took it and he did a little bit further, more and beyond than what we were expecting, but that was pretty fun.
Well, when it comes to showmanship, if you're gonna get in the show and you're gonna get on the stage, then you better deliver. And so many people will chicken out. No, not him. He did the whole deal. As he kept on going around and he did the whole deal. And so, yeah, that was a little added feature that a lot of people, I'm sure the fans were kind of chuckling and appreciating it. It's hard to keep focused on that for very long because of the sound of the cars, and that there's going to be one heck of a matchup right in front of it. But boy, that was another one of those little showmanship things that you guys delivered on. So hats off to them for following through and not just kind of going through out there and starting and chickening out. That's what most people do.
Yeah. Like I say, when he said they went around Brandon while he was backing me up, I'm like, well, that was a little better than I was expecting it to be. So,
yeah. Well, it was fun, and we'll look forward to seeing more great things from the team out of Nebraska. You guys keep shining, and we look forward to seeing you up at Great Lakes Dragway for the championship finals.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, so that's Justin Herbst as he goes into the championship finals, one of the top three. It is neck and neck, and it's always been that way. Not always been that way, as 2022 was an exception, as the Williams brothers team just about ran the table. And so had to do little more than show up at Mo-Kan for the championship finals that year to take home the title. But this year is not going to be like that. It's going to be another one of those races another one of those years where it comes down to the final race, perhaps the last pair of the night. So, man, the intrigue is intense, and it's going to be a great championship finals at Great Lakes Dragway. We're going to be looking forward to being there for that championship finals event. So we will take a break and let you hear from our great sponsors. We have so many great sponsors, and we want to let you hear from them. And we'll have one more segment, and we'll call this one good. Hang in
Driven
there.
Racing Oil's GP1 Nitro 70. Trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts across the world. Driven takes legendary base oils, such as the ones from Brantford, Pennsylvania, which comprise our GP1 line. Then, we boost that superior base oil with state-of-the-art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti-wear protection, but can shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by methanol or nitro-based fuel. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil by following us on Facebook or Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
And we are back. Good opportunity to visit with Cody and with Justin as we recapped the events. And man, I got to tell you, I wanted to say something, Lee, and I know that you probably want to add something to this as well. But a big shout out to Al Schoenwetter, our new race director. You know, Bubba Corzine for many years has done a phenomenal job. There's nobody that can replace Bubba Corzine because he's irreplaceable. However, Al is not trying to replace Bubba. Al has got his own credentials, and he produces a racing series. He's certified in tech inspection. He's a racer himself. He has many similar characteristics that Bubba had, but he's his own man, and he's a good man. And I think that he did a phenomenal job there at Mo-Kan Dragway. So Chris has done a great job of bringing someone in as race director to carry on so that we're able to bring a seamless show to the fans of Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos.
I've only heard positives from the event at Mo-Kan Dragway, and it being smooth, seamless, as you stated, allows for that to be the case. And there's people behind the scenes, such as Al, who did such an exceptional job to help it be so at that event. And we look forward to more events just like that at Mo-Kan Dragway and beyond, as we've got, well, exhibition-wise, Lebanon Valley's coming up, and then we have the championship finals for Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos, and then that one other outlier, it's a bit altered, out there in Tucson.
That is one of those events that, I tell you, I am so excited about that event, going out to Tucson and for Fuel Altered Chaos. Somebody asked me if there's going to be another series, and that's not, that's down the road if there is one, but you got to have a first one. The first Funny Car Chaos event, that wasn't supposed to be a series either. And so we'll see what happens with that, but I can tell you that the excitement around Fuel Altered Chaos is really good. The entries show it, and I know just as an insider that's going to be helping to produce that show, I know that I'm excited, and I know that that the Fuel Altered family getting a chance to show out as the stars of the show is really going to be one of those exceptional events that I hope catches on. And I really think that this first one is going to set the stage and just might be something really special.
It's going to be special, and it's being held at a place that I think is so fitting for Fuel Altered Chaos because of the history of Fuel Altered there at Tucson Dragway. It is going to be a great event, and the buzz keeps building and building and building. So I see the comments on the streams, and we'll play the Jim Hughes interview, we'll play the promo for Fuel Altered Chaos, and nearly every time that interview is played, that promo video is played, the comment sections light up with, man, I wish I could be there. Man, I can't wait to go. Man, that's going to be a cool event. There's just a buzz in the drag racing world, which I think there has always been. Fuel alters are just cool, and they will forever remain cool. So truly, fuel alters forever.
I could not agree more. Could not agree more. And that's one of those things, you know, we have to wait for that. We have some great things happening between now and then, but boy, what a way to have November. You talk about a Thanksgiving celebration. That's going to be great to have that in November and be able to experience that and share it with the racing community. So we've got Funny Car Chaos Championship Finals, Nitro Chaos Championship Finals. We will preview those two events on our next Chaos Live episode. That's coming up in 2 weeks, so you go ahead and put it on the calendar now. 2 weeks from tonight, we will be previewing those two championship finals events. And Lee, I think, you got anything else you want to add tonight?
Well, we don't have to dive into it, but I'm going to throw up this graphic since I pulled it. The top 10 in Funny Car Chaos. You've been talking about the points. Well, it is close. And there is certainly a great possibility that we're going to have, for yet another year, since Ken Singleton's stranglehold on Funny Car Chaos, a new champion.
It definitely looks that way. Brian Lewis, Justin Herbst, Keith Zimmer at the top, but you can't count out Shane Lawson, Justin Malott, Kirk Williams, and below that top 6 there, going all the way down to number 15. You start to look at that top 10, and you begin to hear things like there might be some of those that have experienced some parts breakage or something that is going to keep them out of the championship finals event. Well, if that happens, there are some people right below that top 10 that might find themselves going up as high as number 9, number 8, number 7. And of course, that championship banquet at Hard Rock Casino coming up early next year, you know, making that top 10 is a rather large deal. And so for those that show up at the championship finals event, you know, to add to the intrigue, what you've got there doesn't include the drop, and when you put the drop in there, it changes things up a little bit. But there, like we talked about a little bit earlier, it might come down to the final pair of the season that determines who's going to be the champion, because it is that close at the top. You know, you've got a tie after the drop is considered. You've got a tie. And you've got a shuffle in the rest of it in the top 10. So it's not over by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be one of those championship finals events that has kind of become a trademark in the world of the Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour. So being there at Great Lakes Dragway with your car if you're a racer, and with your family if you are a fan, it's definitely what you want to do, is be there to experience the rush of the championship finals.
Funny Car Chaos has worked out to be a great championship battle each and every year, it seems, except for that one where the Williams brothers stunk it up a little bit. But for the most part, it has gone right down to the wire, and we've got that once again across the board. So cannot wait to see the action there and all of it that's going to be ahead of it and afterwards. The chaos is alive and well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, it's been a joy to be a part of it with all of you out there in Chaos Nation. Thank you for tuning in. And again, we'll be back in 2 weeks for the preview of our 2 championship events, and we'll get in a little more depth on the points battle and anything that develops between now and then. But we're glad to have you as part of the family in Chaos Nation, and we look forward to wishing you well tonight and seeing you again in a couple of weeks for our next Chaos Live. So As always, be kind, be well, be awesome. We'll see you on Chaos Live in 2 weeks.
Race fans, get ready. The inaugural Fuel Altered Chaos rocks historic Tucson Dragway Friday night and Saturday, November 14th and 15th. Ground-pounding fuel altereds from across the country go into 200-mile-per-hour combat with historic names like the Mob, Rat Poison, Bradford's Fiat, and Sheepherder. Take on new school hitters like Cone Hunter, Witch Doctor, Blown Scentless, and many more. See Blue Nation's Backup Girl, Header Flame, and Run What You Brung drag racing like Tucson hasn't seen in decades.
Kids 12 and under are free. Visit TucsonDragway.com for more information.
November 14th and 15th. Be there!